Morning Grind with Pork Rinds.
Welcome to the show.
What was that? Again, Dave Garner alongside Billy D right here on a Rally Towel Tuesday. The Atlanta Braves stinking it up last night down in Miami. Man, 12 to nothing?
Yeah.
12 to nothing. Are you serious? Oh, my goodness. Well, hey, you know, it's going to happen every once in a while. Good morning, everyone. What's up, North Georgia? Again, we appreciate you guys being with us right here on a Rally Towel Tuesday, presented by your friends at Geiger Legal Group. Again, North Georgia's #1 personal injury attorney is Geiger Legal. Let them tell your story today at 833-HELP-GLG. That's 833-HELP-GLG. Billy D in studio with me this morning right here in our Carriage Kia Studios. What's up, partner?
What's going on, man? Ready for a great day?
Exciting basketball last night, man. Double overtime in the playoffs to start the conference finals as Wemby goes off, man. 41 double OT.
Yeah, it was an awesome game. I was struggling to stay awake and watch last night, but awesome game. I really think that this is the championship. I think we got the JV tonight between the Knicks and the Cavs.
Yeah.
But man, what an opener to a series. A double OT with all the star power going with it. Yep. I mean, Wembyana is just amazing to watch. But you know what? SGA was carving it up too. Like it's just these are just great two teams battling it out.
Winning in OKC, which is always a tough place to play, as we know. And so, yeah, the NBA conference finals underway. The NHL conference finals are about to get underway because the Montreal Canadiens got it done to the chagrin of our co-host, Big John Davis. Of course, the Sabres falling last night in overtime. They fell behind 2-0 early. They battled back in periods 2 and 3 to tie it up 2-2, and then they go to OT, and Montreal able to get the winner there in overtime. So, a lot of drama last night, you know, in the world of sports with the NBA, the NHL playoffs. We'll chop that up. Speaking of the Braves, of course, they'll turn the page, get back at it today. We're going to talk a lot of football here later in the show as we hear from Billy D, again, who is also kind of one of our insiders, especially for the Falcons. So we'll talk about that and plenty of other things going on in the world of sports. Hey, we mentioned yesterday high school baseball, and I do want to mention the Etowah Eagles are indeed state championship bound. They are taking on, and now we know the opponent. It is North Paulding. North Paulding getting it done over Parkview. Now, I'll say this. North Paulding is also right on the fringe of our coverage area as well, so congratulations to both of those teams.
Nice job.
They will actually start that series. That's the 6A bracket for GHSA high school baseball in the state of Georgia. 2 North Georgia teams going at it in the largest classification in the state, and that bracket is expected to start on Monday. So, again, it looks like a doubleheader on Monday with a potential Game 3 if necessary, on Wednesday of next week. Now, Monday is Memorial Day, so a lot of people will be off on Monday. By the way, our coverage, we are going to have live coverage of the 3A state championship, which, again, first pitch on Saturday at 5 p.m. down at Columbus for the Pickens Dragons taking on Troup County. We will have that live over on our sister station. We'll come on the air right at about 4:45. First pitch right at 5 o'clock. Game 2 will follow. A potential Game 3 would be on Monday on Memorial Day. And that one is scheduled for 6 o'clock if necessary. So we'll have complete coverage of that series. And then we'll be talking about Etowah as well, potentially, later in the week. But there's a lot going on this weekend and next week with a lot of our local area high schools. So, man, exciting time.
Oh, yeah, it's always great to see the local talent getting out there and putting it together. And it's fun to go watch these high school teams. I really miss it whenever my kids were in those battles. So go out there and enjoy it. Have a great time.
That's right, man. Bring back that ring, man. Bring back that chip right here to the local area, to Cherokee County and to Pickens County, 2 border counties represented in the state baseball championships. And we'll run down some of the other brackets for you later on as well. Again, Kell and Pope are both in their respective 4A and 5A state championships. So really, when you look, and we'll talk more about this on Thursday with our during our prep rally, our high school roundup with our golden boy Will Cooper. But when you look at the power of where high school football and basketball, a lot of it is in North Georgia, admittedly, and not to throw off on South Georgia, because I do feel like in a lot of ways sports are bigger down there as far as the communities go, because it's a lot more spread out than it is in North Georgia. So they go all out. But as far as the power shift goes, I mean, look at it. 4A, 3A, 4A, 5A, and 6A. Pickens, Cherokee, Cobb County, all right there together, right?
You got a lot of power in football down south too. Still,
you do, yeah. I mean, there's Lowndes, there's always Lowndes, there's always
don't leave 'em out.
Valdosta.
Don't leave 'em out.
You know, there's always Colquitt, there's always Ware County or who have you. But again, when you look at the state championships, though, man, I mean, it's the Gwinnett schools, it's the Atlanta schools, it's the Cobb schools now. So you got to look where the population's at, right? And that's where the biggest portion of your population's at. But nonetheless, though, very excited about again our high school baseball teams as they get set for state championships starting this weekend and into next week. Hey, let's talk a little bit about the PGA Championship. My man Billy D, you really are the golf insider, really, man. I think, more than anybody else on this program. Man, your thoughts coming off that weekend and seeing Mr. Rye take it?
Kind of ho-hum.
Yeah.
Ho-hum. I mean,
you're not excited, huh?
Man, not really. Look, the championship, it was at a course that many people aren't too familiar with.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a whole lot of exciting holes on it to wrap around. The field, Rory said it best. The more I watch Rory and see different shows about him, the bigger fan I am. I still think he's a little bit quirky about some things, and I got something about that, by the way. But he described it really well. He said, "Look," he goes, "it's more about the setup." He said the setup wasn't really great. He goes, "It wasn't one that was too hard for a couple players to break away from." So you had like 54 people within 3 strokes after 2 days, which is wild. Which you would think would be exciting, but it really didn't generate the excitement that you're really looking for.
Right.
Just nobody. He said, the worst. He goes, you struggled to make birdie. He goes, but then again on the other side, the worst you can really make is bogey.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
It doesn't really generate any kind of excitement or enthusiasm.
No. And I think John kind of shared your sentiment as well. I will say there were some amazing shots, particularly on Saturday, that I think kind of set the tone for the weekend. I mean, you saw guys, driving the green, on some par fives, things,
Look, John Rahm
350-yard drives, putting them on the green,
John Rahm hit a 5-wood, 265 yards.
It makes you sick, doesn't it? Doesn't that just make you mad?
I was like, man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I can't even get my driver out there.
Did you see the guy that was playing with Rory? And I'm the guy that escapes my memory, but he put it in, man, on that par 3 right in the cup. Didn't even bounce. Hit it in the cup. So we saw several eagles, throughout the course of the 4 days there, and then of course into Sunday. But man, Rye the Brit, the first player from Britain to win in over 100 years at the U.S. Or not U.S. Open, but the PGA Championship. So great event. I know there were some people who were kind of like, whatever. DeChambeau once again missing another cut.
Whew.
Maybe he needs to buy a set of irons and quit and stop making them. On a 3D printer, I don't know.
I tell you, I feel his pain. I've been playing like DeChambeau lately, it's frustrating. It's a really mental game.
Yeah,
people don't understand how mental of a game it is.
But let me ask this, and I think we've talked about this before. Is it common for players on the tour to make their own clubs, like we see Bryce and some of those guys with 3D printers that are actually making their clubs and things like that? Is that common? Because I'm kind of naive. I just don't know.
It's not common, but they will tweak it to a particular player, like the company or whatever, whoever's sponsoring them or whatever, playing with their clubs. They'll test that player to the nth degree and find out what's going to suit them best, and they will make the club more geared towards their play.
Yeah,
for sure. But as far as 3D printing your own clubs, I think DeChambeau kind of owns that.
Yeah, well, he can have it. Because apparently it ain't working for him now. He's great getting off the tee, but again, it's the rest of the round that tends to struggle a little bit with the short game and so forth. So, and as you know, and you're a golfer, you've got to be able to have that to put it all together into a complete package. Speaking of, did you have another tournament?
Yeah, and I probably played the worst I've played in 2 years, so we don't need to really dive into that too much.
I was going to say, I haven't heard a whole lot from you, man. You were kind of quiet over the weekend.
I can sum up my game really, really well right now.
Don't do it like Rory did the other day after that first round.
That's exactly
you can't say that on radio.
That's exactly how I should describe it. But I'm a driving range king and in a flop on the course right now.
Well,
so
that's all right. You got to refine the rhythm. Like you said, it's all mental. So, hey, again, we appreciate you guys joining us right here on a Rally Towel Tuesday edition of the program. As always, our Jasper Coca-Cola text line is open at 866-888-0744. That's 0PIG. Again, 0744, our Jasper Coca-Cola text line. Chime in about anything. We want to hear from you. What do you think about, NBA, NHL playoffs, PGA Championship? The Preakness was over the weekend as well. A lot of stuff coming up, of course, this week. That big Braves blowout last night on the other end of a 12-0 loss. They'll go at it again today in a mid-afternoon game, 4:10 first pitch. So we'll have our pregame right here on the Sports Pig a little earlier this afternoon. We'll get underway right around 3 o'clock. So again, if you want to listen to the Braves game this afternoon, keep it locked right here on the app and online at sportspigradio.com. Around 3 p.m. is when the pregame coverage starts, with first pitch around 4:10 this afternoon down in Miami. It's a 4-game series, so they still got 2 games after this.
Well,
so hey.
Well, if the Braves could have just bunted it a little bit better, we probably would have been able to keep that game close.
Did you see, though? Did you see the other night? And I haven't seen this happen really around the league much at all, but especially from a Braves team. Azokar, the guy we called up, that's playing in right field, for while Acuna's out a little bit. Azokar actually laid down a bunt for a hit.
I saw it.
And he was, it was kind of crazy because, they're playing off. They kind of caught him to sleep a little bit there. Azokar, I think, had hit a home run in his last at bat. So who would have known that, in his next at bat, man, he'd be laying one beautifully down the third base line for a hit.
Oh, I knew that it was going to be a proud moment for you, Dave.
Yeah, you knew I was going to see it, you knew I was going to
Yeah.
talk about it, and you knew I was going to bring it to the program right here.
Yeah.
Hey, coming up in the next segment, we're going to have now that's what I'm talking about. And then later on, our 100% chiropractic moment. Once again, Dr. Keith Rigi joins us right here on the program, as he does every Tuesday. Our restaurant inspection score is also coming up later in the program. That has become kind of a popular segment right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday. And also, we will keep it real with Billy D, keeping it real with Billy D coming up here in the show as well. So we got an action-packed 60 minutes for you right here on the program, and we're already up against our first break. Again, visit us on social media, the Sports Pig on Facebook, the Morning Rant on Instagram. You can watch full video episodes of the show daily on YouTube, and our show also uploaded on our website in podcast form on sportspigradio.com on both Apple and Android platforms, including Spotify and Podbean. Catch me on Twitter at DaveGarner777, and catch segment 2 coming up right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday edition of the Morning Rant, presented by your friends at Geiger Legal Group, right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
Make your home's air healthier. Green Heating and Cooling can help by installing a Bryant Evolution air purifier just for you. Using Captures and Kills technology, this highly advanced MERV 15 filter captures many select airborne pathogens. It also helps improve indoor air quality for both asthma and allergy sufferers by filtering air impurities like dust, pollen, and pet dander. Call to schedule an evaluation. Green Heating and Cooling, your top Bryant authorized dealer, whatever it takes.
Sit down.
Back here on a Rally Towel Tuesday, presented by your friends at Geiger Legal Group. North Georgia's #1 personal injury attorney is Geiger. They are at 833-HELP-GLG. Let them tell your story today. Dave Garner alongside Billy D. Billy Dowd right here as we chop it up. Again, later in the show, as we talked about, we're going to keep it real with Billy D, because Billy D always keeps it real. You don't ever have to worry about that. You know he's going to bring it with a hot take right here and hot mics on the Morning Rant. We've been doing this show now for a while, and we're getting people on board. We're still in the infancy, if you think about it. I mean, we started the show back in March, which in radio terms and programs is not terribly long. I mean, we're only a few months into this thing. Once we get a year or two on the board, then we'll kind of know, where we're at. But the response has already been amazing, and I appreciate you guys. We want to hear from you. We've gotten some good interaction on our Jasper Coca-Cola text line, 866-888-0744. But it was funny the other day. We were at Bradley's Bar and Grill in East Cobb off of Lower Roswell Road at Bradley's Bar and Grill, and had a great time. We had a 3-hour show. Big John, several guests. David Collins, our NFL insider, was there, and some other folks. And what was funny is we had mentioned, being at Bradley's over and over again. And our friends at Eat Safe Cherokee, which are on Facebook, and we're going to talk about them later as part of our restaurant inspection score, they were having fun saying, hey, good location. They got a 93 on their last score, good job. And then the Eat Safe Cobb folks jumped in and said, wait a minute. That's in Cobb County. That's ours. Leave us alone. And then Eat Safe Cherokee played back and said, well, we're the ones they talk about on the radio. So they had a kind of playful, banner between the two Facebook pages.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so, we're getting folks like that involved. We got Dr. Keith coming up here in the next segment to give us a couple chiropractic tips. Again, our friend Dr. Keith Rigi at 100% Chiropractic. He's down in Canton, Georgia. So a lot of things going on right here, moving and shaking. But we appreciate you guys being with us. Hey, horse racing, you and I reminisced during the Derby about DJing parties and things like that.
Yes.
Back during the Derby days. Did you catch the Preakness by chance? I mean,
I did not.
You had your tournament.
Did that big white horse run? Did he run? I wanted to see that, because they had to pull him out of the Derby. That big, gigantic horse. They call him the Great White.
I don't think he's in it. I didn't have the sound turned up too much.
I wanted to see him run. But
we watched it. But yeah, Napoleon Solo was the winner there, of course. And so we talked a little bit about horse racing. It's that time of year. We talk about how the seasons this time of year really do kind of dictate, kind of the mood I'm in, right? I mean, the weather, it starts warming up. You get into horse race season, man, you're there. I mean, you're into warm weather for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, that right after that's done, we're uploading into spring football and all those kinds of things, and I know that aeration for my grass is coming up. Yeah, so
I knew I knew that was where we're going. I was wondering if you take the bait. I knew you would. Oh man, but that's why we call it. By the way, that's why we call it keeping it real, because real, REEL, like the real mower. Yep. So that's why we do what we do right here. Hey, I want to talk a little bit about, because we haven't talked to you since the NFL schedule release, and I kind of wanted to get into that a little bit with you, because obviously I know you have a lot of opinions about that. You follow it. Your thoughts? I mean, the Atlanta Falcons, again, opening the season at Pittsburgh, taking on the Steelers, and then Carolina back home to open up the home slate in the division. The Falcons also the Spain game this year as well. They'll go over to Madrid, take on the Bengals. So, again, your thoughts, man, once you saw that schedule drop?
Well, look, I don't. The schedule's the schedule. I don't go through it and say wins, losses, and all that kind of mess. I mean, we'll see what we have when we start playing. I mean, the thing about the NFL is it changes so much year to year.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I'm not that excited about what we're about to put on the field behind center. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But usually I would take a schedule and say, okay, I feel like we'll do pretty good through here or whatnot. But this year, I really have zero idea.
It's hard to tell. I never put a lot, and I said this the other day, I just don't put in a lot of, into the strength of schedule for the NFL. You don't, because you don't know how things are going to pan out. There's always going to be a couple teams on your schedule that you're like, well, that'll be a cakewalk. And then those teams end up being good, i.e. the Washington Commanders a couple years ago went all the way to the NFC Championship. That was a team that was on your schedule that wasn't supposed to be any good.
Yeah.
That was supposed to help your strength of schedule, and ultimately it hurt it. So I think college is maybe a little bit more predictable, certainly down to the high school levels, things like that.
For sure.
You can kind of look at it and kind of get a decent idea of strength of schedule when it comes to that, because those are things that are factored in to the ratings for college football, but not so much for the NFL. Power rankings in the NFL are just for fans to talk about.
But that can be changing here pretty soon, the way the NIL and the way they have to get into the portal every year can start to change that a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I think you'll start to see that change a little bit. I think it'll be more like the NFL, and you're going to see a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah, I think you will too. The portal is certainly going to make it look a little bit more like pro football. Like we talk about, in the NFL, power rankings don't really do you a whole lot of good. It's not like you're going to move up a position, right? I mean, in the NFL, it is what it is. It's all your record. Everybody's kind of even, and so there you go. The top, however many make the playoff, there's no debate. The Falcons aren't going to be sitting there at the end of the season saying, well, we were 8-9, but we had a tougher schedule. We should deserve to play. That's not how it works in the pros,
On paper, I would have been almost guaranteeing you the Falcons would be the NFC South champs for 2 of the last 3 years.
Oh, easily. Yeah,
on paper,
easily.
I would have told you that before. But, again, when the season starts, everything changes.
Yeah.
Once you start hitting somebody, that's when it changes.
And that we always talk about. That's why they don't play it on paper, man. That's why they play it on the field there.
Exactly.
But I've never put a lot into strength of schedule, especially at the NFL. But what do you guys think out there, man? Want to hear from you again? Our Jasper Coca-Cola text line's open at 866-888-0744. Even when we're not on the air, okay? The Coca-Cola text line remains open. Text us at night, because a lot of you may not listen to the show until you get off work and you're watching it back, you're listening it back on the podcast, or you're watching it on YouTube. So again, just because we're not live on the air necessarily, we are right now if you're listening on the radio, if you're listening on 98.1 or 93.7. But again, the Jasper Coca-Cola text line is always open. If we don't get to it live on the show on Tuesday, then we'll get to it on Wednesday. But again, we want to hear from you, 866-888-0744. Want to thank a couple of our friends. We had Jim yesterday chatting with us. We had our friend from Chatsworth who plans his day around the show, man. Again, that's Danny Beavers, man. We appreciate him. So we got a lot of folks that have been tuning in right here and checking us out. But yeah, we want to hear from you guys, man. What do you think about all this as far as schedule release, college football, NIL, any of the things that we're talking about right here on the program? We definitely want to hear from you. But yeah, I think that the landscape of college football is we're talking about. And we hear a lot of this from Chuck Oliver, we're kind of a lead-up show for Chuck at 11 o'clock right here on the program. He's the king of college football with Southern Sports Today. Glad to have him right here on the program. We try to do, a few college football tidbits, news and notes kind of lead into his show. But you're right, man. The landscape has changed so much with college football because of NIL. Now we're seeing an expanded field potentially. With the playoffs to 24 now. These things seem like they're going to happen sooner than later. So, man, it's wide open. I mean, a team like Indiana, who's done nothing for over 100 years, can win a national championship now.
Listen, my son pointed to a poster that he'd got me for Christmas that had Kirby pointing to the trophy with the back-to-back titles. He goes, so are they going to do it this year, Dad? And I'm like, man, I just don't know. But I would love to see them back in there, and I think they'll always be in the mix this way. I think as long as we have Kirby and, we've got that recruiting and that style that he's going with, I think that we're always going to be in the mix for a Georgia Bulldog standpoint. So it only helps us. I think it only helps, your top-tier teams because they're more likely to get in every single year.
Sure.
The way I look at it.
Yeah.
But, the landscape changes. It's just going to be more in there. I think you're going to see – when you get down from the top tier, you're going to see teams 5 through 10.
Right.
I think you're going to see a lot of that changing back and forth.
A lot of movement right there, no doubt. We saw it in the playoff this past year. I mean, Miami, you can sit there and say, well, if you're not in the top 10, you're probably not good enough to win anyway. But, I mean, you take a team like Miami, that was they were kind of on the fence about them or Notre Dame, or whatever, and they go all the way to the Natty, and they're riding that momentum at the right time. So, I'm not saying I'm against it. I think that there definitely need to be some changes in the schedule as far as the recruiting timeline, this and that. The way the bowls are with the recruiting period, it's kind of odd because you're getting all these teams that are electing to opt out of bowls and this, that, and the other. And then all of a sudden you've got all these empty holes, and now you're looking at 5-win teams having to fill bowl games because that's all that's left. And it should mean something. Like John says, and I agree with it, making a bowl game to me should mean something. I mean, there should be something behind it. I don't think you should have a losing season and be able to go to a bowl game. There's way too many bowl games, first of all. But the money's there. As long as the money's there, they're going to keep playing.
Well, then the players don't even want to play in them.
Right.
You've seen that. Players opting out and playing in the bowl games.
Exactly.
So what's the point?
Yeah. So, again, that's kind of what we're talking about right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday edition of the Morning Rant. We appreciate you guys. Hey, before we hit the break, I wanted to get your thing, and I meant to talk about this in the first segment. You were talking about Rory. Did you see some of the fan incidents from over the weekend?
Well, it's funny you should mention that. I was going to actually talk about that.
Okay, so we'll leave that alone then.
Yeah.
We don't really talk. I mean, we come in here and we wing this thing a lot of times, man. So I don't know what Billy D gonna talk about, but that's the fun of it, man. That's the beauty of it, man. He takes me by surprise, man, and throws some curveballs in there. So we'll talk about that coming up here on the other side of the break. Hey, stay with us. We are up against our second break right here on the program on the Rally Towel Tuesday edition. of the Morning Rant presented by your friends at Geiger Legal Group. Once again, our Jasper Coca-Cola text line is open at 866-888-0744. We are the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
Financial scams are on the rise, and with AI, they're getting more and more sophisticated every day. If someone pressures you to act quickly, ask for secrecy, or request payment through gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency, stop. Legitimate financial professionals don't rush you or demand unusual payment methods. Before you send money or share personal information, slow down and verify. Protect your future. When in doubt, ask questions.
If you're suspicious of a scam, call the team at Foundation Wealth today at 706-278-0214.
Back here on a Rally Towel Tuesday, Dave Garner alongside Billy Dowd, Billy D, right here inside our Carriage Kia studios. Thanks for joining us. Rally Towel Tuesday presented by your friends at Geiger Legal Group. Again, North Georgia's #1 personal injury attorney in North Georgia is Geiger. So again, one of the weekly segments we have right here on the program is called the Chiropractic Moment. And one of the things that I wanted to do is kind of tie in, again, athletics with, we talk a lot about physical therapy and, different injuries and things that go into things. By the way, Ronald Acuna, who I know you absolutely just love, is now back. He was available last night. I don't think he played, but anyway.
The turf wasn't exactly right for him.
It probably wasn't exactly right for him. So anyway, but again, we do like to bring in, we do like to do a real quick minute to kind of give you guys an idea of, man, how to take care of yourself. There's a lot of weekend warriors. We were talking earlier in the program about being able to, get the weekend warriors going, the warm weather, kind of gets everybody going, right? And so, we appreciate everyone, getting out there, being active, man. I mean, at the end of the day, that really is what it's all about. And so joining us right now on the program is my man, Dr. Keith Rigi from 100% Chiropractic in Canton, joining us right now with this week's 100% Chiropractic Moment. Doc, appreciate you being with us. You and I were having a conversation the other day, and we were talking about a term that I can barely say, but it's subluxation. Okay, I don't know, Billy, if you've heard of subluxation or not.
I have.
You probably have. But first of all, what is that? Give us an idea of what subluxation is all about, and then we'll talk about, how it affects the body.
So subluxation, that's the dirty S word in chiropractic, buddy. So let's break it down kind of simple first. So if you take sub, that means less than, and luxation, that means dislocation. So a subluxation literally means less than a dislocation. So in the chiropractic world, we're referring to the vertebral subluxation complex when a spinal bone loses proper motion or position and creates interference or pressure affecting the nervous system.
Okay. Yeah, that's some pretty deep stuff right there. So, that's way over my head. No, but again, no. So tell me this: how does a subluxation affect the body, and how does it cause health problems? I think is probably what a lot of people, because there's some other people. I know I'm not the only one out there that's probably never heard this term. Billy D, plenty of other people have heard it. I haven't heard it, but how does it affect your health?
Well, let's think of this analogy here, Dave. So if you think of your spinal cord like a major highway, like 575 here, the 31 pairs of spinal nerves, they're like the on-ramps and off-ramps that connect traffic to different destinations throughout your body. So imagine you're driving to work and there's an accident blocking the exit ramp. So what happens, right? Like traffic slows down, communication is disrupted, and you can't officially get to where you need to go. So a subluxation works in a very similar way. So it's like an accident at your nerve root. The message traveling from the brain to the nervous system can become distorted, interrupted before reaching its destination. So when communication between the brain and the body is not functioning properly, the tissues, muscles, organs, glands, etc., connected to those nerves may not function at their best. And over time, this interference can contribute to dysfunction and health problems. Okay,
well, that makes sense, certainly. Again, subluxation, a new term that we're introducing this week right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday edition of the Morning Rant. Again, we'll be back with Dr. Keith Rigi next week right here on the program. Doc, thanks for being with us. By the way, I know you're active on social media, so how can people find you, man?
You can find me on Facebook. We're on Instagram. Our phone number is 770-415-1336. You can also catch us right here on the radio.
There you go. Absolutely. Thanks, Doc, for being with us right here again. Dr. Keith Rigi, your friend at 100% Chiropractic in Canton, joining us right here for this week's Chiropractic Moment. I appreciate you guys once again being with us. Our Jasper Coca-Cola text line is open. As always, 866-888-0744. And time now to keep it real.
It's bold. It's unfiltered.
Come on, man. Are you serious? Ugh.
Buckle up. Billy D's got something to say, and you might not like it.
You can't say that.
Why not? Keeping it real with Billy D starts now.
All right, so again, it's time for my man to do what he does, man, and bring you with a hot take right here. I kind of let the cat out of the bag. I guess it was kind of a tease at the end of the second segment there about the whole Rory thing and fan interaction, so I'm going to let you roll with it, man.
So let me kind of get into this from a golfer's deal here, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to take it from personal and go right into Rory. So got teamed with somebody, okay, over the weekend.
Yeah.
All right. Golfers, you're way too serious, okay? You're way too serious. Get over yourselves, all right? I'm a golfer, and look, I got teamed with a guy, and every single putt, this guy is walking around all four angles to see it, and he ain't even that good, all right? And then, nobody can stand in a certain view of his sight when he's trying to hit. If you had the little radio going, you need to be back far enough so he couldn't hear it. And so this whole time we're playing, I'm just trying to figure out where do I need to be so I don't annoy this guy.
Right.
And then finally, I just gave up. I didn't care. I'm like, because he's going to duff the ball, whether I'm there or not, whether he can hear the music or not. Okay, whether I'm in his line of vision or not, he's going to duff the ball. Now this brings me into Rory. Okay, so Rory is playing the PGA Championship.
Yeah,
and I think it was around the 15th hole. I think it was. He's trying to make a last ditch run because he's like 3 strokes away, so he has to make something happen.
Right.
So he hits this shot, tries to hit a delicate shot over this bunker to the green, to the hole, and he flubs it, doesn't really quite get it right, hits the bank and rolls back in. I find it comical. Some of the people in the stands were going, wah, wah, wah. I thought it was hilarious. And then there's another guy doing something. Well, then he yells, and this is way after the shot, he yells, USA! Right. And Rory turns around and looks at him and mouths the word, shut the what up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then he points to him and has him removed. The guy actually gets removed from the championship. Now, word on the street says that I guess he had been doing some other things throughout the round.
So it wasn't an isolated
and maybe that was kind of like the tipping point.
Tipping point.
I'm like, there is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like in every sport, you can say whatever you want to the athletes while they're going through there. They're your entertainers. You're there to consume the product, right?
Sure.
They're the product.
Absolutely.
So you should, you pay to be. The problem with golf is that it's so close.
Yeah.
It's so close. There's not a barrier there.
That's true, yeah.
They call it the gentleman's game. And the same thing with tennis, right?
There's etiquette.
Tennis is also a gentleman's game, right? But at the same time, I think there's got to be some more fire in it, right?
Yeah.
So say what you want. I know this is probably a really bad example, but whatever. Nick Kyrgios in tennis was the most fun to watch and the most annoying to watch at the same time.
Right.
Because the guy has so much talent, but he was so exciting, and he would interact. Okay?
Yeah.
And
he gives it back and talks.
And he brought some fire.
Right.
He brought some fire, and it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
The golfers today, you need to get – they got to bring out their personalities more. Like, if I'm Ray – what was his name? Ray? Is that we don't even know the guy's name and run this thing.
Yeah, Aaron Rye.
Yeah, okay. Right. So – when he made that putt on, I think it was
17 at the end there,
that was the time to, just give a little something, right?
Oh yeah,
instead of the little tip of the cap, how about a little beat your chest and point out
you
something.
even texted me that's where you start beating your chest right there.
Let's get excited, man. Let's have some fun out here. Do a little stare down to your opponent. Let's have some fun. Like that would make it a lot lot better. In my, like, look, when I'm in a tournament, I'm doing well, and I'm giving it, dude, I give him a little something. Yeah. I'm like, let's go. I mean, think about Tiger when he was coming through. He used to do that. Oh, yeah. Wound up with the arm and come down, and he was doing a little stare. That was exciting. People like that stuff. And you know what? I'll tell you something else. The golfers, if you allow them to show their personality a little bit and don't criticize them so much, they would give it to you because I think they want to do it.
I think so. I think one of the reasons the PGA gets slammed the way it does is because it's so stuffy, and I think that's way traditionally golf anyway. I think that's why some people tend to gravitate to the LIV. Because they do tend to be a little bit more boisterous as far as the crowd and yelling and this, that, and the other and kind of cheering things on, more like a Happy Gilmore style of play. And I think that a lot of people, the casual fans even more so, would welcome that. Now, you're always going to have your traditionalists, that are going to say, no, there's no place for that. But I think if it were a less stuffy sport, I think it would be a lot more enjoyable. To your point, to let their personalities come out.
Yeah, let their personality come out. I think there is a fine line with what you can allow the crowd to do. Yeah, because they are so close, right?
Yeah, right.
And that could get out of hand pretty quick with a bunch of people drunk on $20 beers, right? And been there all weekend. But once you hit, you should only have to be quiet whenever they address the ball and then they hit it. And then, you know what? Interact. Have some fun. But the bigger thing is that the actual athletes, let their personalities come through. And I think you're going to have a much more exciting product to watch. Yeah. Especially when it's at a boring course.
I think so, too. Absolutely. Keeping it real with Billy D right here on the Rally Towel Tuesday edition of the Morning Rant. We were talking about fan interaction. The other side of that was Pete Crow Armstrong of the Cubs making a play up against the wall. There was a female fan that said something to him, and he turned around and gave it right back to her, said some, not so nice things. And so there is a lot of that stuff over the years when you talk about communications with fans. The players, I mean, there's still people. I do tend to side with some of the players because I think a lot of the fans do go over the top. But at the same time, you've got to be heady enough as an athlete to block it out, to not let it get to you, especially when you're playing in like Philadelphia, like where the PGA Championship was at. Those are Philadelphia fans that are at a golf course, right? I mean, it's your Eagles fans, it's your Flyers fans, it's your Phillies fans that are sitting over there,
That's why people love the Ryder Cup so much. You got the energy that comes out of it, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely.
It's such a much more fun event to watch than any of the other tournaments.
Absolutely. Hey, let's switch gears real quick. We did get a text here on our Jasper Coca-Cola text line. Fritzy from White, Georgia says, who's going to play more games this season for the Falcons if they're both healthy? Is it Tua or Penix?
Well, okay, that's great. Well,
it's a good question.
Well, I mean, what about if
who do you like better in that situation? I don't know.
What about if Tua trips into Penix's knee and hits his head as well? Now we're out two quarterbacks.
Now we're out two quarterbacks, and we're playing Trevor Siemian, baby.
I mean,
you know what? There could be there should be a pool on that. Maybe we'll put together a pool because I think at some point.
That's a great question, though.
How do you? At some point, you got to factor in Trevor Siemian, the third quarterback, to me, because you think about the injury history with Penix. Okay, he goes down with the knee in week 2, and God forbid this happens, but let's say Penix isn't ready week 1. Tua gets knocked out in week 2 with a concussion. I mean, and Penix still isn't ready. I mean, it's Trevor Siemian or it's the other kid that's the fourth quarterback that they might keep around a little while. I don't know.
I tell you what, I'm going to go just because I feel like we should answer the question.
We do need to answer the question.
So I'm going to try to answer the question.
Thank you for keeping me on track.
I'm going to probably be wrong, but that's okay. I think that, and I don't even like saying this, but I think Tua, will probably play more than Penix because he's going to start. And I think Tua might get off to a really good start.
Yeah.
And then the Falcons will be, they'll just want to keep it going. So I think Penix would come in once Tua gets hurt. And then I don't think Penix is going to do well enough. So I'm going to go with Tua. You're going
to go with Tua. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of hard to argue that. I think if Tua opens up, to your point, as the opening day starter in week 1, it's his job to lose, right? At that point, I mean, I don't know if it's a situation where they feel like Penix is the number 1 quarterback who's recovering from an injury. We talked about it the other day with Big John. You don't lose your job to injury but until you lose your job to injury, right? And so the thing is, Tua's going to have to be playing pretty bad, I think, for him, and he could, you never know, or get hurt, I think, for Penix to come back in. I think a lot of that's going to depend on the timeline. But, yeah, to your point, if they stay healthy, to your point, answering the question that was presented to us by Fritzy from White, Georgia, if they stay healthy, I like Tua as well to start and play more games.
I think Tua has more upside. A little more experience at this
point, too, honestly.
You know what? The Falcons don't love either one of them.
Yeah, no.
And neither do I.
And neither do I. And neither do the rest of us for the most part. So, again, that's a conversation for another day as we'll continue to talk about NFL news and notes, college football as well. We're getting into a college baseball and softball World Series, so a lot of other sports going on right now in NCAA, and we'll continue to chop it up. There's already been some great moments right in the world of sports and right here on the program on this Rally Towel Tuesday presented by your friends at Geiger Legal Group. Hey, our final break, and then when we come back, restaurant inspection scores and some final thoughts as we lead up to the 11 o'clock hour. It's the Professor Dave Garner alongside my man Billy D here inside our Carriage Kia studios, chopping it up on this Tuesday edition of the Morning Rant right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
When you get hurt from an accident, it can feel like no one is listening to you. The insurance company talks over you. The bills keep coming. It's like the pain and inconvenience doesn't even matter to them. But your story does matter. And here at Geiger Legal, we will make sure your story is heard loud and clear. My name is Casey Geiger, and my firm stands up for people who have been wronged through someone else's negligence. Let us tell your story. Let us get the justice you deserve, and let's start today.
Call Geiger Legal Group at 833-HELP-GLG. That's 833-HELP-GLG, and let us tell your story today.
Back here on a Rally Towel Tuesday, presented by Geiger Legal Group. Dave Garner, Billy Dowd with you till 11 o'clock this morning as we hit the final segment, the stretch run of our show today. Again, tomorrow it'll be a Winging It Wednesday as my man John Davis steps back into the program. That'll be presented by your friends at the Pub and LJ. $1 wings all day long tomorrow until midnight. Again, our Winging It Wednesday will take a trip down memory lane with the refrigerator mover, and we will chop up the latest in the world of college, professional sports, football. We'll talk about hopefully a Braves win tomorrow as they try to even that four-game setup with an early afternoon start today, a 4:10 first pitch for our Braves against the Miami Marlins. I have a hard time. I still want to call them the Florida Marlins because they were that for so long, but they did rebrand to Miami. They are the Miami Marlins, and they're actually not having a bad year. You would think that of all the series, the Braves, the Marlins, but it's those division teams that kind of have your number sometimes, and so the Braves are going to have to fight their way out of a little bit of a hole here to start this series as, again, a four-game set continues, and then the Braves back home this weekend against the Nationals. Well, time now to talk. We talk about a lot of things right here on the program. Music, food, you name it. Let's get into it right now.
Time for this week's restaurant inspection.
Oh, it smells so good in here.
On the Morning Rant.
So, again, I got my man Billy D in here, which means we're going to talk about some other stuff, too, right? And, again, this is all brought to you by your friends at Eat Safe Cherokee. We talked about it earlier in the show. There was some friendly banter between the Eat Safe Cherokee, Eat Safe Cobb, and they were having some fun with it. So I know they're listening, man. Shout out to you guys for doing your thing and kind of compiling this. Now, again, all these scores right here come directly from the Georgia Department of Health. You can, go online or what have you. But, again, go to Eat Safe Cherokee, Eat Safe Cobb, Eat Safe Fayetteville, you name it. They're all over Facebook if you want to check out the latest restaurant inspection scores. I will tell you that Big Easy Barbecue off of East Cherokee Drive gets the 100 this week.
Big Easy.
And our friends at Eagle Watch. Now, I will say this. Eagle Watch, last month's score wasn't great, but they rebounded. They got 100.
All right.
So I'm going to bring them up now. They got 100.
Get your sandwiches and your hot dogs.
There you go. Get them sandwiches and hot dogs at Eagle Watch because they hit that 100 now. The lowest score on the totem pole this week was a 61. And that was the lowest one, and that's pretty low. And then you had a couple others. Anything really under a 90, it falls into the quote unquote needs attention category. I know you understand this, having been in the restaurant business as long as you were, Billy D, for so long. But yeah, so that's kind of outlook this week.
Well, I think what you've been seeing over these scores is that they address the concerns very quickly.
Yeah.
It's usually within 7 days.
Usually, yeah. Now, what happens? And I think I've asked you this before, but what happens if you consistently stay? How many mulligans do you get before you get shut down?
They shut you down right after. If you don't make those corrections in that first comeback, they can shut you down.
Yeah.
Right then.
So yeah.
They don't mess around.
They don't mess around at all. So again,
that's why when you see those scores, that's why when you see those scores and then you see it change, that's the best time to go eat there.
Yeah.
It's going to be the best you've ever had.
Because you know it's got to be clean because everybody's eyeballs are on them, right, man? They watching. Yes. Hey, we appreciate our friends at Eat Safe Cherokee. Again, your weekly restaurant inspection scores brought to you by our friends at Papa John's in Ellijay. Better pizza, better ingredients. Order online at papajohns.com. Again, chopping it up right here with my man Billy D on a Rally Towel Tuesday as we get set here in the next few minutes. So we got a little bit of time left there. I wanted to ask you, so we've tackled a lot of sports. We've got we talked some food here today. We had our 100% chiropractic moment. So we covered a lot of ground here on the program today. But let's go music right now. I want to ask you this because you and I have this common thing that has kept us bonded for a long time, and that's hip hop and that's rap and various other kinds of music as well. But let me ask you this, Billy D. I'm putting you on the spot here. Trivia question. How many hip hop groups or rappers are represented in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Do you have any clue about how many rappers are in the
how many
rappers or groups? Yeah, are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Just on the hip hop side.
Yeah, just on the hip hop side.
Man,
I kind of put you on the spot on that.
I wouldn't have a clue. Give me a range. Give me a range.
I would say between 10 and 25.
Okay. Man, I'm gonna go with. I'm going to go with 12.
Okay. You're a little on the low side. Yeah.
Really?
Little on the low side. 17.
17.
Okay. And you can probably, honestly, if you were to sit here and we could make a whole show out of this, obviously, you and I could, but you could probably roll through them. There's some guys, obviously, like the Jay-Z's and Eminems of the world that are already in there, even though they're still going at it. But, it's the Run DMCs. It's the Salt and Peppers. It's Salt
and Pepper made it. Okay.
Yeah, they're in there. Tribe Called Quest is in there as well. There's a couple honorary, like Missy Elliott and some of the, different ones are in there like that, So, the Beastie Boys obviously are in there. So there's a lot of different ones. But in November of this year, the newest inductee that's going in to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang, yes.
Wu-Tang.
They should have already been in there.
So they're going in. They're going to be inducted. It was already announced. They're going in November. And so, yeah, man. And I tend to like the Wu-Tang Clan.
Well, Wu-Tang, first of all, I'm surprised they're not already in. But, Wu-Tang Clan, so they had a lot of members. Can you name all the members that they had, Dave?
All right, well, let's give it a shot, man. You got them pulled up?
Me on the spot. I'll put you on.
Okay, put me on there. Okay,
right,
so let's go with the RZA. The Jizza.
Yeah, we got the RZA.
All right, here we go. And then we got Method Man.
Yes,
all right, we got ODB, who's not with us anymore. Inspector Deck, I guess is DECK now,
work.
Just so you got.
Work.
Okay, You God.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've named.
All right,
okay.
Master Killer.
6, yes.
Ghostface Killer.
7.
Okay. And then you have, let's see here, who am I missing? Hold on. Capadonna was one that kind of came in, I think, a little bit later.
Yes, I didn't even know that one.
Yeah, he was in, then he kind of left, and then he came back. So technically, they've always had 9 at any given time, but 10, Capadonna would make 10, so that must be 8. Let's see, Raekwon, the chef.
9, you got one more.
All right, Raekwon, and who am I missing? Oh, my goodness, let's see.
Super short name.
Let's see, the RZA, the Jizza.
It's kind of like the RZA.
Okay, hold on, wait a minute. I know this now.
What'd you say, the RZA, the what?
RZA and then Jizza.
Okay, then you got 10.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you got it. Sorry, my bad. My
okay.
bad.
All right, so I got him. Okay, all right.
10 members of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Man, my mind is filled with useless information.
Yes.
But that's not. I mean, that's not bad. So, yeah, you think about the different ones. I'm trying to look back and see. I'm trying to remember who was in it last year. Oh goodness, who was inducted? He was inducted in. Oh well, Outkast, I think, is who is winning last year.
Wow, it took
if I'm
them
not
that long,
mistaken.
too?
So yeah. Well, sometimes they got to be out of the game for a while to get into the Hall of Fame there. But we're going to talk more as we kind of get into our summer concert series right here as well. Hey, we may have some tickets to give away. I'm looking up at the wall right now. Again, when you're when you're way in this summer. From Carriage Radio. We've got some different concert giveaways and things that we're going to be doing over the next month or so. So keep it locked right here on the program. Again, this Rally Towel Tuesday edition of the Morning Rant. Visit us on social media. Interact with us there as well. Again, the Morning Rant is on Instagram. Of course, the station Sports Pig is on Facebook, and we're growing, again, our viewers over there. Like our page, like our Facebook page, and follow it. Morning Rant with clips on Instagram. Also, full video episodes daily on YouTube. The podcast version of the show uploaded every day to our website, sportspigradio.com. Go on there, check it out. And wherever you listen to your favorite daily podcast, we're all over the place. I mean, all the different platforms, Spotify, Podbean, whether you're Apple, Android. And I do want to mention, too, by the way, that we have another show that debuted. Heard it yesterday. It is the Red Clay Rundown. One thing that we talked about right here is there was a dirt track racing show coming to the Sports Pig. Well, guess what, folks?
Sweet.
It's here. Again, our man Steve Newbold and Will Rigdon, those guys bring it to you Monday, Thursday, and Saturday before the Braves games, 30 minutes before the Braves coverage. So yesterday, again, they were on in the afternoon, and then they'll be back on with us Thursday. But the Red Clay Rundown for all you dirt track racing and NASCAR fans.
Is the Dixie Speedway a part of that?
Yes, absolutely. We
Have
talked
you been
Dixie.
Recently? Have you been to Dixie?
I haven't been to the Dixie recently.
I went
for
there
a
the
race.
last few years. Oh, within the last few years. It's awesome.
Oh, it's awesome.
I forgot how awesome it was.
I grew up there. And you and I you probably came with us when you were younger a time or two, I think, right? Because, my dad and I, we went there all the time when it, with racing and stuff. So
and you can hear them running on them summer nights.
You can hear them running all over the place, man. I mean, they everywhere. My neighborhood, if you remember, used to kind of back up to it,
Yes.
So, I mean, it was just one of those things where I grew up around it. You can see the lights from the track on any given Saturday night. So, yeah, man, they're all open for business, man.
That's a good time. If you've got nothing going on and that season has started out there, that's a good time to take the family out. You wouldn't think if you've never been before, you can't really put it into words.
Right.
But you go out there, and it is an absolute blast. Just have a good time. Watch them they have all types of different racing. The go-karts, they got the small, I don't even know what you call them. The small wings with the big wings on the back, and then you get the demolition final that comes out there, and they're banging each other's cars up. It's awesome. I love it.
Man, they've always had a lot over the years, and growing up, they always had different promotions that were kind of fun. And I remember one time they had like a black bear that was in a cage, and they brought him around the track. But
that's awesome.
I think the thing, apparently it had health problems, so it passed away or something. I don't know. It was crazy before the event even there's just been so many things over the years, a lot of quirkiness right there, though. But again, man, if you hadn't been dirt track racing, man, you definitely need to get on out there and make it happen. Hey, we're out of time here today on the program, man. We've had a lot of fun. My man Billy D once again chopping it up right here on a Rally Towel Tuesday, presented by your friends at Geiger Legal Group, North Georgia's #1 personal injury attorney. Give them a call at 833-HELP-GLG. That's 833-HELP-GLG, and let them tell your story today. Man, we've covered a lot of ground, man. I mean, golf, football, food,
baseball,
hip-hop, music, man, Wu-Tang Clan. Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang. You got to put we'll put the W together. We appreciate you being with us. Hey, Billy, as always, man, thanks for bringing it right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday, partner.
Awesome. Enjoyed it.
There we go. Again, check us out. Social media, as we mentioned. Again, you can find us pretty much everywhere. Our Jasper Coca-Cola text line, as always, 866-888-0744. Write it down so you can chime in any time of day right here on the program. This has been a Rally Towel Tuesday on the Morning Rant. home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com. Chuck Oliver up next with Southern Sports Today. We'll see you tomorrow.
98.1 and 93.7 The Sports Pig, where hot takes meet hot mics.